everyone, so today I just wanted to give a brief overview about Finnish verbs, in particular Finnish verb type 1. So in the Finnish language there are 6 verb types, and I just wanted to break it down, focus on the verb type number 1, and just give a brief overview on what exactly it is and which verbs would then belong to verb type 1. So verb type 1 in Finnish is the most commonly used verb. So it's kind of like the cool kids of the verbs, the popular ones if you say. So what makes the verbs in type 1 distinctive, or how you can recognize them yourself, is that they end in 2 vowels. So if you look back on the 3 previous type 1 verb videos that I've made, if you look at all the verbs that I've used as examples, all of them end in 2 vowels. So A, E, I, O, U, Y, A, yeah, those are vowels. So for example, the Finnish verbs like sanoa, ajaa, asua, kysyä, rakastaa, katsoa, all of these end, as you can tell from the list, they all end in 2 vowels. So to sum it up, in Finnish, verb type 1 verbs are distinguished by the verbs ending in 2 vowels, okay? They end in 2 vowels, and that's the most distinctive way that you can tell if it's a verb type 1 or not, okay? So the way to conjugate type 1 verbs in Finnish is to remove the final, or in other words, the last A or A of the verb, okay? So for example, ajaa, double A at the end, you would remove the last A, as you have hopefully learned in my videos. So yeah, type 1, what you need to remember is that it's the most popular one. The way you can recognize a type 1 verb is that the verbs end in a double vowel, and the way you conjugate these verbs is that the ending A or A, the last vowel, A or A, is removed. And then you add on the pronoun stem to the end of that verb. And to learn how to do that in detail, you can check out my other 3 videos that I have done about verb type 1. Okay, and then another question you may have is that there are certain verbs that, okay, they end in a double vowel. The core part of the word is the same, like you take off the last A or A, but then when you start conjugating them, it doesn't always follow exactly how my examples have gone. So maybe, for example, you're conjugating the verb nukkua, to sleep, and you realize that sometimes there is 1 K and sometimes there's 2 Ks. And I never talked about anything about like the core part of the verb changing. So then you might be super confused, like why the heck is it all of a sudden 2 Ks and sometimes 1 K? Kathy, you never explained this to me, like you were only talking about the ending changing. That is because in Finnish there is this phenomenon known as consonant gradation. So depending on whether if the word or letters within the word are weak or strong, you might either add or take away a consonant. And this is something that I have not explained in my videos yet, but I know you're at the edge of your seats wondering what this is. But don't you worry, I will make a dedicated video on this. But just so you know that type 1 verbs may experience consonant gradation, so that's why there are a few exceptional cases that it's not only this, like the endings that change. You might be removing or adding consonants as well, but for the majority of the cases this doesn't apply. So usually it's just the ending that changes, but if you're practicing this yourself and you do stumble upon something like nukkua and you just like your brain starts melting and you get very frustrated because like, you know, suddenly there's 2 or 1 Ks and you don't know why, it's because of consonant gradation, which we will cover later on, okay? So try not to worry about that too much, I will cover it. And yeah, that is my brief summary of what a type 1 verb in Finnish is. So thank you so much for watching, and I guess that just about concludes this video. See you next time.